It's Sunday morning in Nigeria, and Christians across the country are heading to church. As part of the continent's largest Christian community, most believers here have their choice of places to worship. Here at the Family Worship Center, pastored by a graduate of Regent University, thousands lift their hands in praise. But just a few miles away on this Sunday, these people tried to find enough food to survive another day. I'm just outside of Abuja in the capital of Nigeria, and this is a refugee camp with about 1,500 people in it that have been internally displaced from their villages further north and to the west. There are about 2.5 million internally displaced people within Nigeria, and that makes this one of the largest humanitarian crises in the world right now. And the thing that all of these people have in common is that they're Christians. 29-year-old Aisha grew up in northern Kenya with her family, scratching out a meager living along with the rest of those in her small village. She's a Christian from one of the largest ethnic groups in West Africa. Life was hard for this young mother, and it was about to get a whole lot harder.
Boko Haram.
In November 2013, Boko Haram invaded our village. They killed my father-in-law and abducted some of the children who lived with us. We were so scared, so we fled to the mountains.
As a movement, Boko Haram has been around for a very long time, starting back in 2002, long before ISIS even became a thing. And as time went on, they got more and more extreme to the point where in 2011, they detonated a car bomb at this building behind me. That's the UN embassy here in Abuja. They've continued to kill people across the country of Nigeria, thousands in fact, to the point where in 2015, they were dubbed the most dangerous terror group on the planet. Much of that terror directed at Christians. Enoch Yohana was one of Aisha's neighbors.
They started with burning of the churches, killing the pastors, and killing the members, closing them down. On 29 September 2014 was the day that they attacked my village. Around 10, I have a call that they have killed my dad. They asked him to deny Christ, in which he refused. They have cut his right hands. Then he refused. They have cut to the elbow again, in which he refused before they shot him thrice. At the head, forehead, the neck, and chest.
Many of the 1,500 Christians living in this camp have similar stories, like Hanatu, who had to flee on foot across the border into Cameroon, carrying her 3-year-old daughter on her back.
We escaped from Boko Haram. I walked for 2 months before I reached Nigeria.
Once she arrived, she realized the camp had no school for the children, so she decided to do something about it.
The thing has touched my mind that these children, they are living like that without going to school. We sit down, we discuss and say, how are we going to do with this life of these children? Are we going to leave them like this? This Boko Haram is because of illiteracy that they start killing everybody. So if we didn't teach these children, they will affect us directly or indirectly. Now, I thank God, the children now, we have seen a great change.
Hanatu and other volunteers go beyond reading and arithmetic, also teaching the children about their heritage, since many of these little ones have never seen their true homes.
We always cry. There is a song that our children always sing, "Oh my home, oh my home," because there is no place like home.
It's been raining all night long, and you know, the polyethylene on the tops of these shacks here gets leaky very quickly.
One of the hardest things about living here is the leaky roofs during the rainy season, because water constantly drips onto our bed. We depend on people to feed us, so when they are unable to give us food, we go hungry.
The Nigerian military has mounted large offensives against Boko Haram in recent months, and even with heavy losses on both sides, there seems to be no end in sight. Despite the hardships, these displaced Christians are firm believers in the power of prayer.
My faith has helped my prayer life, and I believe the prayers of the other saints around the world have helped us to get through this hard time. My desire is for God to restore all those who have been displaced and allow us to go back to our homes so that we can worship God together and live in peace.
In Nigeria's capital city, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.